Hey everybody, Clay Archer, CEO, DVC Technology, and I've got a very interesting one today. It is the new AI key. Basically, in a nutshell, what it is another compute device between the camera and the NVR to do AI detections. So let's go over the overview real quick. We'll talk about a bunch of different use cases for this device. We'll go through the features of it, we'll set it up, and finally we'll decide whether it's the right device for you. So really quickly from soar.ui.com, this is an edge AI appliance that can analyze up to 1,000 smart detections per hour, enhancing events with detailed classifications and natural language search. It has low latency natural language retrieval. It can transcribe speech events. It can sharpen face recognition for enhanced ID. Connection and power both come over PoE++, and it has your typical Unify 1.3-inch touchscreen display. Needless to say, in appearance, it's a very simple device. The packaging was typical Unify packaging, very simple. It's got one RJ45 connection on the back for your PoE++ connection in, and that screen on the front. Also, at time of release or shortly thereafter, there will be a 1U rack mount where you can mount 3 of these together. I don't have pricing on the rack mount, but the unit itself, it should be $679. Other specs of note, it has ARM Cortex-A 78AE V8.2 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigabit SSD on board. And here's the quick marketing brief from Unify. The AI key introduces simple, scalable edge AI integration to protect, completely secure, and blazingly fast. Designed to work in tandem with Protect cameras, it adds an advanced layer of computer vision analysis to incoming smart detections. This layered approach enables the identification of thousands of details of contextual meaning with remarkable precision. And with the integration of LLM, the AI key delivers an intuitive, natural language retrieval experience, allowing you to instantly find exactly what you need. The solution is fully scalable, providing additional AI compute power as needed for more active deployments. In addition, the AI key provides speech-to-text transcripts, on-demand image upscaling, and a host of new features coming in future updates this year. So that's all cool. Let's do this. Let's dive in real quick, and I'm going to take a quick look at the device itself. Click on System, it'll show you the amount of CPU usage. You can see how it's using at any given time. Obviously, because you can stack these, knowing the usage is going to be pretty important. If that's pegged all the time and you're getting slow analysis, then you would add a second AI key, there, date, and that kind of stuff, and brightness of the screen, color, the fan speed, and then restarting. So pretty simple stuff on the front of it. Obviously, you could see that in Protect if you wanted to go through it and not look at it on the screen, but it's nice if you're back here, you can see it there. All right, so let's jump into the AI key. And let's go to the overview real quick. It's got the name. It's got camera coverage. So these are the cameras right now that it's actually applied to, and we'll go in settings and apply to the cameras we want to. So right now I've got 15 cameras going. 4 of them have speech to text. 2 of them have license plate recognition. And 10 of them have face recognition. You can assign that yourself, and I'll show you how. Process detection in the last 24 hours, I got 4,235. Detections in queue, 0. It's Saturday, there's nobody here, so it's not processing a lot right now. Faces that have enhanced in the last 24 hours, I've done those 2 enhancements prepping up for this video. Then you got your regular status stuff. It's online, connection, it's modeled, device version, MAC address, IP address, and uptime. Had it up for 2 days now. And you got your system performance here, which for this device is particularly useful because, as I mentioned before, you can stack these and scale these. Obviously, the amount of compute that you're using is going to vary by the number of cameras that you have, the number of detections you have. If you have a bunch of cameras in a spot where there's just, they're in a field where nothing's happened, well, then you're going to need less compute here. And so basically, you're able to take a look at your compute and determine, hey, do I need more of these? Should I put less cameras on these? And it's a really neat the way you're able to manage that and scale this. When we go over to settings here, it'll become more apparent. So I could change the name of this. I'm gonna leave it AI key. I could put tags on it if I wanted to, but here are your features. And this is really important because you're able to assign them to different cameras based on A, the camera's ability to do it, and B, the amount of compute you want to assign to those particular cameras. So we have computer vision enhancement. This is analyze and categorize objects detected by your selected cameras. I have all my cameras on right now. So basically it's doing that vision enhancement to every camera. And now if I wanted to save some compute, I could take it off of some of these cameras. I am not going to. I'm going to leave it on all. Next, it's got speech to text. It transcribes speech detected from selected cameras. I've got it on all cameras, but you'll see here my list of all cameras is only 4. These are the 4 AI cameras that I have. The speech detect feature only works with AI cameras that have microphones. So you're seeing the AI 360, the AI DSLR, the AI dome, and the AI turret. And I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of that, and that's all good. The next one is license plate detection. It will add license plate detection to all G4 and G5 cameras. So if I hover over, it's going to say enable to allow cameras with vehicle detection to recognize license plates. So any camera that has vehicle detection will now be able to recognize license plates. I can click in there and I can choose any of the cameras. Now, obviously, I can use almost all of my cameras here. One camera you will see I cannot use here is the AI 360. Everybody asks, is this going to add those kind of features to the AI 360? Unfortunately, it does not at this point. So, but anyways, I could choose any of these cameras that are appropriate. I only chose, you see, the two that will actually get cameras in their view. The reason I did that is because I want to save compute. I don't want to put license plate recognition on a camera that doesn't need to have that in its detections. And then on face recognition, I have all cameras, and obviously I want that on all cameras. You'll see here that, again, the AI 360 is not in there. It's also not listing cameras that have that already built into them. So I can go ahead and click save on that. And last but not least is face enhancement here. Enable manual enhancement of facial recognition on demand. I've got that checked. Now, obviously, if you didn't want to spare any compute on any of these, like if you didn't ever care about facial enhancement, you could turn that off. You could save that compute. Same thing to speech to text. Obviously, that's going to be pretty important here as you manage what you want out of this AI key. And carry on, you have your regular Unify stuff. You've got the display screen brightness. You've got night mode where you can turn off the display at certain hours. You got locate, restart, and remove. All pretty cool stuff. So you're saying, hey, Clay, that's pretty cool, but what does that mean in real life? So let's go to some recognitions here and see what that really does. All right, so I've chosen Adrian here. So a couple things you're going to see is first, these G5 domes are getting facial recognition on Adrian. Another thing inside of here, you'll see down at the bottom, it's giving this a kind of natural language description of what's going on here. An office environment with multiple desks and computer workstations, a man walking through the aisle carrying. And so basically it's giving you a description of what's going on here. You can see that is true, and that is what Adrian's doing. He's going to walk on by. The other thing that's cool here is obviously this is facial recognition on a G5 Dome Ultra. So I'm getting facial recognition on a camera that doesn't come with it natively in there. You see here when I go under detection highlights, I now get face, person, confidence level, and next AI summary. That's the next AI summary down at the bottom. If I didn't want to see that, I could take that off. It will get rid of it. You do have to do that on overlays to see that it's there, but very cool and a really nice feature added there. Editor Clay here. As I was going back through the footage, I realized I didn't quite do this section justice, and I do feel like this next AI feature is the killer feature of this new AI key. So I wanted to kind of go back and re-record this. Truth be told, this is about 5 days later, and I've been using it for quite a bit, and I found a lot of cool little nuance to it that I think it really tells the story of what the power of this new AI key. So I'm going to go into Find Anything. Yeah, this is new to 5.2. It's now called Find Anything over here, which is going to show all my recordings. In this Find Anything, you'll see this new search area over here if you have an AI key installed. And what's really cool about this is you can use natural language to search for anything. So I'll just do in here red Tesla. You can just say things in natural English and it will find them. So look at this is Sean's Tesla, and it finds it. It may not always be exactly right. This looks like a Dodge Charger and not a Tesla, but it is. If I just said red vehicle or red car, you're going to see it's going to find a bunch of things. But if I say Tesla, it knows what a Tesla looks like. In true AI fashion, it really is just amazing. So I'll go back to red Tesla here. Because I only have a few here, it's got this confidence level over here, and I can play with this. So if I move this down a lot, it's going to come up with more vehicles, but it may have more missed detections. Or I can turn it way, way up, and I'm going to have much more confidence, but much less detections. But you'll see it really hits everything really perfectly on this. It's pretty impressive. And I don't just have to do this with vehicles. I could say, let's just say green shirt. I type that in. Same thing. It's going to give me all of these detections of people that thinks it has green shirt. I have this at confidence level of 1 there because I turned it down for there, but I can turn this up. And the more I turn it up, the more confident it's going to be everything is a green shirt. And I can turn this one down pretty far because I think it's getting pretty good shots of people with green shirts. Now, where does this come into play? So if you have an ENVR like this, you're gonna have 800, in my case, I'm gonna have 863 days of storage capacity here. So as this rolls out, it's just gonna be full of these detections. So if I'm going back there and I wanna see, a green car or a man with a mask or, that kind of stuff, I'm just gonna be sifting through tons and tons and tons of data to be able to find that. And that's gonna be very difficult to do. But if I'm able to go in here and just say, uh, man with a mask, I'm gonna get, what it thinks are people with masks. Now, I might not have anybody that had a mask come through, but if I did, I would be able just to find them there. And I can play with the confidence level just to kind of zoom in on it. But you can see how quickly I can sift through that. I can also add more, qualifications if I go, in the last 24 hours or last 30 days or started, 4 months ago and stopped, 3 months ago. So really, really super powerful way to search through things, which is plain language. Let's just say green Toyota. And I don't know there's a lot of camera systems that are going to get you this level of accuracy here. So this is our three different Toyota Priuses that are green, and it knew that they were Toyotas. I mean, that's pretty amazing that it knows that Prius is a Toyota. Very, very cool. Very, very powerful. And I see this only getting better and better, this AI bit of it, where it's using intelligence to kind of sift through this data. I think this is really the trump card of the system. And one step even further than that, which I think is really killer, if I go into Alarm Manager and I go create new alarm, and I go into here into objects, I can go AI key enhanced. So in here, I can do something like that. So let's just say I wanted that green Toyota one, or I could put anything I want in here, man with a mask, whatever I want to say there, it's going to find them. And I can go green Toyota. I can say what my confidence level is, and I can say which cameras. So let's say I just want that on the AI DSLR and the G4 PTZ. And let's go. Now I can do whatever I want. I can turn on a light. I can make a sound. I can click a notify to notify me. However I want to do that, I've got all this power to do this based off of a generated prompt, which is just really, really killer. I think this is a next level feature, and I think when you look at the AI key, its power is for these power users that have tons and tons of data, want to be able to sift through it, want to be able to alarm off of it in a very customized way with the power of AI. But that's not all it does. So let's jump back into the edit and we'll get to all the other things the AI key does. Another feature here, obviously Adrian's going to be my test case here, but I can apply facial enhancements here. And you can see on this one, this actually is one that I applied face enhancement earlier on, and you can see the difference between the two before and afters here. But let's go ahead. This is coming from a G4 Dome, which is an older camera. So I can apply the image enhancement, and it just basically focuses things up again a bit. Obviously your mileage may vary. You can't squeeze blood from a stone, but it makes things a little bit sharper and a little bit crisper. See how grainy this is now? I'll apply it to that. And then it will come back a couple seconds later, and you can see it just sharpened up the edges and it makes it a little less grainy. I can then, if I want to, remove it, and you can see it's grainy again, and I'll apply it again, and you can see it just sharpens up. It's not a miracle worker, but it definitely sharpens things up a bit. And you can see you can overload the AI key if there's a bunch of detections. It takes longer for things to do. But that's a particular one where it worked really well. It can't invent pixels that weren't there, but basically it's just adding contrast and smoothing out noise. So it's basically denoising and adding contrast. But yeah, it's a nice feature. I don't know, it's not going to change the world, but it definitely makes things a little more crispy. All right, so now I'm going to show you the voice-to-text transcription service, which obviously this one's a little intrusive, so I'd make sure you're not violating any laws in your area, and everybody knows that they're being recorded and their voices are being transcribed. So anyways, I'm going to jump right into the cameras themselves. So I'm going to go into the AI 360. Again, this only works on the AI cameras. So we go in the AI 360. I've already got it set up, but I just want to show you, you need to make sure under audio detections that you have speaking checked here. If you don't, it's not going to record speaking and you're not going to get transcription. So go ahead and make sure that's done there. And then when we go over to find anything, you can click on all events, and I'm going to go to audio, and I'm going to click the little arrow on audio. And you see here, I can choose speaking or transcript, car horn or siren. I'm going to click on transcript here. and it's going to show me every detection it's got with a audio transcription. All right, so once you're in here, you can go ahead and click on a clip. I'll click on this one, and you can click on View Transcript. Hey. And I don't know if you can hear that audio across OBS, but it's basically transcribing exactly what they said there. Very cool. Very creepy because it is hearing every word they say and transcribing it. It's pretty accurate. Obviously, it depends on the amount of background noise and the distance from the microphone, and there's a lot of factors there, but it's pretty eerily good. And this is really handy if you don't want to scrub through a clip and find all the stuff. You can just read it very, very quickly, and you can go through, one after one here and just click on the transcript, and every time it's just going to show you what's said. Now there's nothing said there. You do have to click the little button here every time to kind of get the pop out there, but it really works on all these clips. So that's the voice to text feature, and I would say it works really well as expected. Unify was also really nice. They sent over some questions and some answers, so I'm going to go through that really quickly. So when should Next AI search be used? Next AI search is designed for locating specific detections based on generic phrases such as FedEx truck or person walking dog. Simple, concise phrases related to people and vehicles work best with Next AI search. Only detections to process by AI Key are included in the search results. Does AI Key integrate with Alarm Manager? Yes. Up to 5 pre-configured Next AI search queries can be added to Alarm Manager. An alarm will be triggered anytime smart detection matches one of these queries. So that's pretty cool. How does AI Key process smart detections? AI Key has an internal queue for processing smart detections in the order they are received from the paired camera. The longer the queue, the more delay there will be in processing. If the queue exceeds 200 events, additional smart detections will be discarded. It is recommended to install AI keys or decrease the number of paired cameras if the queue frequently is being overloaded. Like I mentioned before, you can just go into the settings there, add, remove cameras, and manage that on your own, or you could just add more AI keys. How long does AI key take to return results? The processing delay will depend on the length of the queue. An AI key with a longer queue could take up to 15 minutes to process the smart detection. That's true. It takes a little while, especially during the middle of the day when here we're jamming and there's a bunch of stuff. On a Saturday like today, I don't really notice much delay at all, but your results will vary there. And you can manage that, as we said before, by either adding more compute, meaning adding another AI key, or removing some cameras from the AI key. How many AI keys can be connected to one console? There's no limit to the number of AI keys that can connect to one console. That's pretty cool. So basically, it's unlimited. That's awesome. How many cameras is AI key compatible with? The AI key can be paired with an unlimited number of cameras, but it has a capacity of processing 1,000 smart detections per hour. Busier cameras will put more load on the AI key compared to idle cameras. That's a really good point, though. So I have 15 cameras here that are paired today. During the day, that's jamming on it because I've got a lot of people up and down and walking around in this office. But on a Saturday, it's very, very light. So you may have 20 cameras pointed at a field or pointed at an industrial complex that probably get very, very little usage. And you may be able to get away with one key to, dozens and dozens of cameras. And the opposite is true. You may have, 4 or 5 cameras that are just always, always processing. And those ones are probably going to hog up the resources pretty quickly. What types of cameras can be paired with the AI key? All Protect cameras that support smart detections can be connected to an AI key. That's the G4 series, the G5 series, the AI series, and cameras paired with an AI port. I kind of went through that before, but yeah, I've got that G4 PTZ. It's jamming out there. It's awesome. It's a really cool feature to add to your G4 PTZ. What types of cameras support speech transcription when paired with the AI key? Speech transcription requires camera support speech smart detections. Only Protect AI series cameras support speech smart detections. Try saying that out 5 times fast. And so like I showed you before, it was only my AI cameras that had microphones that were able to use the smart speech detections. How does face and license plate recognition work on an AI key? Similar to the AI port, the AI key adds face and license plate recognition to Protect G4, and G5 cameras. The AI key does have a larger capacity compared to the AI port, but processing is delayed depending on the length of the queue, whereas recognitions happen in real time on the AI port. That's an interesting distinction. This isn't necessarily just a larger AI port. It does a lot of the features of the AI port, but the AI port does do them in real time, whereas this is grabbing the recording, analyzing it, and then adding that data back to the recording. But there is a little delay there compared to the AI port. Is there a benefit to using AI series cameras with the AI key? Yes, Protect AI series cameras are capable of performing smart detections at a longer range. If the camera fails to perform a smart detection, the clip will not be passed to the AI key. Does the AI key support third-party cameras? Yes, the AI key supports third-party cameras that have been connected to the AI port. All smart detections from the AI port will be forwarded to the AI key for analysis. So yeah, so really cool. Can confirm that it does work with the AI port to a third-party camera. That has been tested. All right. So all that being said, what do I think about this device? Who's it for? What are the use cases for it? Let me first off say I really like the architecture that Ubiquiti is putting together with this Unify system. The way Protect works with some compute happening on the camera, very little compute happening on the NVR. It lets the NVR just be an NVR. It lets the camera do its detections. But having this third bit of compute in the middle really makes it very flexible. I mean, you're going to be able to add a lot of features and do a lot of different things and fit everybody's budget. So let's just say you're somebody that has a bunch of G4 Pros out there or G5 Pros. You got a really, really nice system out there. You spent a lot of money for it. Maybe you got 10 of them or 15 of them. For $679, now I'm able to put this one device out here and control all those, and now they have the latest AI features. It really is a neat architecture when you think about it, because you could know that when you invest in the camera, you're getting whatever the camera has, and you can invest in the NVR and make the NVR at the right scale for you. But now you're able to say, okay, if there's another compute driven aspect of this, I'm not going to have to replace all the optics out there, all the cameras out there. The G4 PTZ industrial, the optics in that are amazing. The only thing that falls short there is it doesn't have the AI compute that the modern cameras have. With this device, you're able to put it in the middle there. And let's just say you had 10 of those out there and you spent 1,800 bucks on them. You got $18,000 worth of cameras out there, and you're able to spend $679 to now make those the latest, greatest. That's a kind of a no-brainer for me. And let's just say you took 2 of them because you got 10 of them and you have a lot of detections, or maybe you even need 3 of them. It's still kind of a no-brainer in that situation. This architecture is letting you design a system and be future-proofed in a way I don't see another system out there really is. If you look at the ENVR I have, we're talking about $2,000 for the ENVR and probably another $5,000 in discs. If the compute was on the ENVR and I needed to upgrade the ENVR, well, you're talking about a $7,000 upgrade. That's not going to happen. For $679, I'm able to put the compute part in the middle and be able to scale everything. The other cool thing about it for development is the AI key is able to be that one little bit in the middle that does all the things. So let's just say there is an AI 2 Pro camera that comes out. That's the newer version of the AI Pro, and it's got these new detections that everybody wants. So like it can see coyotes and it can tell snakes and it can see cows. Well, instead of having to go out and get AI Pro 2s everywhere, you're going to probably be able to get that feature on the AI key, which future proofs you even to another level. The other big feature for me, and I mentioned that if you have one of these large scale deployments, sifting through the data becomes a real chore. And the ability to have natural language search so that I can say, lady in pink polka dots really will save a lot of time and energy. And the ability to have that, develop over time to be better and better and better. The way I look at it is like a modern camera where it ships with, the autofocus today. With firmware updates, the autofocus gets better and better and better and better. I have a feeling that's the way that this is going to happen with this tool. I mentioned in my AI port, the ability to add that AI port to the G4 PTZ industrial was a game changer, but now you're going to be able to do that at scale, plus add all these other features. And the other nice thing about it is the way you're able to manage this to control and throttle the amount of throughput to it by adding or removing cameras and scaling it by being able to add or remove these AI keys, I think is really impressive and important. So who do I think this is for? I think this is for anybody that has a large deployment. I think this is kind of a no-brainer because you're able to divide it by the number of cameras you have. So if you have 20 cameras and you put it on this, basically you're spending 30 bucks a camera. If you have 10 cameras, you're spending $67 per camera to put this on there. I think that's a pretty fair investment for the amount of features that you're getting from it. I don't think this is for your average home user that's got 4 or 5 cameras. I think this is overkill. If you want some of these AI features, I probably would just go with the AI port. And when the software lets you control up to 5 Protect cameras with that AI port, I think that's probably a better use of your money. But if you are somebody that has already invested quite a bit of money, and these are probably going to be commercial installations, and you want to kind of future proof yourself or bring yourself up to the latest, greatest, I think this is a wonderful addition to the lineup. And as been mentioning a lot lately with the Unify stack, what they're doing is giving us options. So, this may not or may not be the right product for you, but you've got an option to either A, buy the latest, greatest cameras with AI in them, or B, buy the AI port, or C, buy this. It really lets you budget for what's right for your system. That flexibility is what makes me refer all my clients to Protect when they need video surveillance. So that about sums it up. Please ask any questions you have down below. Like I mentioned before, this is going to be a long term, and I probably will do a second version of this video once I've got more data to kind of sift through with this and play with it for a few months. But if you have any questions or comments or anything you want to see in that next video, please put them in the comments down below. As always, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.